Aleister Crowley?
Mm,
I
He's
would
not
have.
magic. He's cult. He's not magic.
Well,
I
it's
don't
magic
know.
that they practice, so right? So
Yeah,
Supposedly.
I'm surprised nobody did it. I was like
I
saving that for you guys.
I don't consider him magic. I consider him just a very charismatic man who led a cult.
Okay. Well, we're live.
oh, well, here we are, you guys. Welcome to our Sunday night with Global Strangeness. We are myself, Deborah, Jeremy, Scott. You know by now, we are three strangers that were brought together by the love of everything paranormal, creepy, weird in the world. So this week it was my turn to pick a topic, and I gotta admit, when I picked this topic, I kind of thought it was going to be easy to research and have it would go with a lot of people's firsthand encounters. And I was talking to Scott before we got started here. It was weird. I picked magic, so we're talking about magic with a K, not magic acts, but magic as in rituals and witches and wizards and priestesses and all that kind of stuff. And I found when I was trying to do the research, there's a whole lot of ads for hiring people to do magic. That was so weird. And not so much about, just straight up information. So I thought that was really funny. So you can apparently, this is for hire, this type of work. So anyways, I'm going to kind of go over the history of what magic is. First of all, Wikipedia, magic is, it's sometimes spelled magic with a C and a K. I was going to ask about that. So there's the C, and that's like magic, like magicians, doing tricks. Magic with a K is sort of rituals and stuff. What's the CK? Same thing?
I think the CK is like the magicians, right?
No.
No.
They spell their shows with just C.
With just C, yeah.
I know my flat Earth guy says magic with a K is bad. So you can't trust the flat Earth guy.
You can't. But I mean, I think it's just I think it depends on the spelling of where it came from. Like it's all just different spellings.
True. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's just, I mean, the same as how they call it voodoo in West Africa, they call it hoodoo. It's the same thing. It's just there might be slight differences in spells and stuff, but it's the same basic principles.
So, well, anyways, magic.
Please don't turn me into a chicken for saying that, please.
Magic, according to Wikipedia, is an ancient practice rooted in rituals, spiritual divinations, and/or cultural lineage with an intention to evoke, manipulate, or otherwise manifest supernatural forces, beings, or entities into the natural world. And it's categorical yet often ambiguous term. So I guess hence our conversation, which has been used to refer to a wide variety of beliefs and practices, and it's frequently considered to be separate from religion and science. So it's kind of its own category. I feel like science is kind of going into the whole quantum physics and stuff, and that kind of fits. This is another thing I wanted to ask you guys what your opinion is about when you get into manifesting. Is that just magic? Because magic basically is just words with some serious emotion and intention, and they do use little things to kind of put some power behind that. But really, how different is that from just manifestation?
I mean,
go for it.
I want to hear Scott's on this. I want to hear Scott's on this.
So if you're praying to Jesus, then it is a good thing. But yeah, if you are just like out there manifesting stuff, that's magic with a K. Bad news.
So what about The Secret, where you're manifesting a new car or a better job or whatever? That's not you're not necessarily, and how is that different than praying?
I think you already covered that, right? That was all the people for hire online.
Well, put it this way. Put it this way. Magic is whatever you consider magic to be based on your perspectives. I mean, you brought a 1800 somebody into the future to now, and they saw, well, one, electricity, but two, everything else we had to offer with TV and streaming services and all that. they would say it's magic off the boot. They would think we're a witch. So, I mean, magic is all perspective. It's all, I mean, a lot of stuff that once was magic is now science. So,
I am gonna show you guys some magic because I don't like to toot my own horn, but I am quite the magician. Later on in this show.
So,
You'll
so
see.
Jeremy, if somebody had the old voodoo doll and would stab and it was your hair in there, and your whatever, do you feel like you could just be like, no, I don't believe in it, and it's not going to affect you, or is it?
that's the thing I question. That's the part I question is if they believe in it hard enough, is it still going to happen? Because manifestation does work to some degree, but I mean, I can't try to manifest $1 million in front of me. It's not going to happen. Like that's just not the way it works. But it work. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that's the part of that I don't get. Is like, why does it work sometimes but not other times? I mean, I've seen enough magicians. I just interviewed a head of a witchcraft school in my last episode of my show. Well, 2 episodes ago, my show, but still, like magic exists to some degree, but it's not Harry Potter style. It's not even like King Arthur and Merlin style, I don't think. I think it's just more, I don't know, tempting the fates is more, the best way I could put it is like you're tempting the fates by asking for this stuff, and who knows what they're going to want later on for it. Like that's the way I see it.
So you think you're making a deal with the devil?
No, not the devil. Fate, because fates. I believe fates exist. The devil, man, I question that one daily.
So you're just starting a crappy karmic cycle for yourself then.
Basically, yeah.
Well,
Not
then,
to get too
you'll be pleased to
off-
know I have a grimoire here from 1910. We could take a old looky-roo at some recipes in here. It's got some weird stuff though, because it's from 1910. So, but it is kind of interesting to see some of the ingredients, and most of it's for like love. Forever, they were trying to marry off their daughters all the time, so there's a lot of that. But it's yeah, there's some actual things in there.
Well, there you go, Deborah. Get your dream husband up there in Canada. You guys can go oot in the boot together.
It'll be like grinding up frogs and whatever else is in there.
There you go.
Anyway, so yeah, back to magic itself. It seems like there's different types of magic, obviously. So this particular thing I'm looking at, it talks about white magic, gray magic, and black magic. So, and something else I was looking at had green magic in there too, and I think that's more of Wicca, like modern magic. But white magic is nice magic, like not incurring, not with malintent to anyone else. It's just incurring good circumstances. So, and that's where I think what's the difference between praying and doing magic tricks or magic things that will, bring about good circumstances for people. And gray magic, I don't really understand. Gray magic is called the neutral magic, and it's magic that's not performed for specifically benevolent reasons, but it's also not focused toward completely hostile practices. So just slightly hostile, I don't know. It's gonna
I think gray
magic.
I think gray magic is what Dobie and the house elves do to make like all the food appear. Because they're not really helping anybody, they're not really hurting anybody, they're just doing their job, so it's kind of gray magic.
Okay.
Not helping anybody. Is that what you tell your wife when she makes you a sandwich?
Yes.
She's
not helping anyone.
She's helping herself. That's all she's doing.
Oh, dang.
Oh dear. And then they also talk about high and low magic. And so I found this was interesting because this got into more classes versus whether it's good or bad magic. And so they think everybody who's engaged in high magic, high magic is known as ceremonial magic or ritual magic. So that's where you get the little altars and your tools and doing things with, and it's more complex. And it's more detailed and sophisticated and sometimes expensive. So low magic, and that's kind of what the highfalutin people would get into. They were dabbling with that because they could afford all the stuff, I guess. Low magic is also called natural magic, and it's associated with peasants and folklore. And it's simpler rituals, such as brief spoken spells. So just kind of like a little, hex or whatever you say, something to
Chant
somebody,
type
or
thing.
probably tying the knots in the ropes. Have you ever heard about that? And burying it, stuff like that.
Mhm.
That kind of stuff. That's low magic. And it's also closely associated with witchcraft. So of course, when everybody started to kind of come down on magic altogether, the peasants with the lower magic were the first to get in trouble. And so this goes into, it's come, like Jeremy was talking about, it's rooted everywhere in every culture all over the world, magic, right? There's, they call them by, so Mesopotamia. Anyways, they did all kinds of rituals and medical formulae, and they were always worried about evil omens. And Egypt, of course. There's lots of magic there. I don't know if you guys.
Well, that was the Bible, the Book of Magic.
Well, and the Book of the Dead is in the interior walls
The
of
book
the pyramid.
Book of the
Like,
Dead.
and it's covered.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the book of the Dead's Egyptian. Yeah.
Yeah.
But weren't there like 100 commandments, the spells of magic or something?
Not that I've heard of. I mean,
Hundreds
Mesopotamia
of
is not the
magic spells and inscriptions running from the floor to the ceiling in vertical columns. Like, it's covered in magic.
Oh, I mean, well, that's Mesopotamia. That's pre-Bible. Like Mesopotamia is way before the Bible.
Yeah.
I had a prediction.
What's that?
I
Trump
predicted
2024?
Jeremy's birthday next Friday. Happy birthday, motherfucker.
Thank you, sir.
Cheers. A pre-cheers to your birthday.
Cheers.
So you even having a
I'm gonna be 35. I'm getting old.
Yeah, you are.
boo-hoo. So anyway, and so Greece and Roman world, it's from everywhere, right? Middle Ages. So obviously everybody knows about, when the witch trials began, when suddenly the churches kind of got a stronghold. They decided they didn't like witchcraft, and basically they started just throwing everybody under the bus. So this is where I think a lot of it, is they would heal themselves with herbs and whatever. They didn't have doctors and stuff as much then. And they just started like anything. They would use any excuse and call it witchcraft or whatever. So it's like a really blurry line between healing and witchcraft. And I think, where that all ended for a lot of people. So, and pardon me?
I will say, a wife turns her husband down one night, and he yells out loud, "You bitch!" And then everybody turns around, he's like, "I mean, witch! You witch! Take her!" Like it's all it takes.
Yeah, I know. I know. Can you imagine how how scary it would have been back then too?
Would have made life easier.
You wouldn't want to be in a fight with a neighbor or you couldn't cross anybody, because all they had to do was just be like, "Oh, that person, I saw them turn into a cat," or whatever. And how scary.
Well, it was a lot of kids too. Wasn't it a lot of kids having fun, just like fucking people over?
Yeah.
Basically. Me and Scott were white men. We would have been fine. But
Yeah.
I'd be a goner.
Yeah.
Dark hair, green eyes.
Black hair, yeah.
I wear black all the time. Yeah, I'm a goner. So, and then I did pull up some stuff on black magic, because that's kind of always the most intriguing one, right? People that really get into the gory, weird stuff. So black magic is also known as dark magic, and it's traditionally referred to as the use of supernatural powers or magic for evil and selfish purposes. So specifically the 7 magical arts prohibited by canon law. So in 1597, King James VI published a treatise, and it was a philosophical dissertation describing contemporary necromancy and the historical relationships between the methods of divination used in black magic. So this is what's kind of weird. I had never looked at this before. So there's 7 artes. So 7 categories of black magic. So necromancy. I don't know if I'm saying these right. Necromancy. So that's
Necromancy.
necromancy.
Well,
Is that how you-
isn't 7 like that's more of a Christian number too, isn't it? Like that was maybe
7.
I'm just
Seven?
I'm no.
yeah,
12.
I'm being
12
crazy.
is
I'm
and
thinking of Vegas 777. Never mind.
yeah, you're thinking
I'm
of craps,
thinking
man.
of,
That's
I'm
the lucky
thinking of,
dice roll,
fucking
isn't
hell.
it? That's not magic.
I mean, it can be magic if you do it right, but
Yeah. So, anyways, necromancy. Is that how you say it?
necromancy. God, someone did listen to heavy metal
Necromancy,
growing
okay.
up.
Well,
I'm
at
sorry, I'm
least throw
sorry.
some Canadian flair in there. Come on now.
I'm really not a witch. You can't burn me at a stake. I don't even know how to pronounce this stuff.
Necromancia, eh?
So, anyways, that is so that's grimoires and whatever, and that was to do with demonic magic, and it was performed with groups surrounding a spiritual leader in possession of necromantic books. So that's the picture I sent you. Was that's
Oh,
a
you
group
want me to
they're
pull
doing.
that bad boy
Yeah.
up?
Necromancy in every video game ever where there's any kind of magic, necromancers always have a group of people you have to kill first before you can kill the necromancer.
Well, and a huge portion of Lord of the Rings. Come on now.
So it's like a big group of people surrounding the person with the book or whatever.
The
I
Witch
guess.
King.
Oh yeah, I mean the witch. I guess the Witch King is kind of a necromancer, but
No,
he's more just a
he's
dick. He's
100%
more
a necromancer.
he's more of just a dick.
So I don't know what they're doing there. They have
They're out for a
I
late
don't
night
know.
stroll
This
in the
girl
in the-
doesn't look very scared though, does she? These old guys are.
She looks like a skeleton, dude. She looks like a cool. I think it's them summoning a
I think
demon.
she's dead. Yeah, I think they raised her.
Her clothes look clean and nice.
Plain and nice.
Well, I mean, compared to theirs, like pretty white. Come on now.
Well, she could have been freshly buried.
Okay, there we go. We got some necromancy happening.
So then the
And
next is geomancy. So geomancy is one of the more popular forms of magic that people practiced during the Renaissance. And that's a form of divination where a person would cast sand, stone, or dirt in the ground and then just read the shapes. And then they
Magic.
would charts. Oh. And then hydromancy. So obviously you can this is about using water, divination.
Oh, my episode that dropped. My episode that dropped this past Wednesday was about a man whose father was a weather witch.
Oh, okay. Well, this typically used with scrying. So like you go up to the pond and you see the things in it. Something like a glass ball, I guess. You would see shapes or see in the water. So is that what he did? That's cool.
No, he was more like the Native American idea of weather witch, or Rain Man, where you can just find water.
Okay.
Like if he went to a property and they need someone to find like where a well could be dug in the best place, this guy could find it every time. Like he was just like drawn to the water in the ground. Like he was just drawn to
What
it.
do they call those where you use that? What are those?
Witching rods.
Yeah, like the rods that you use to do that.
Oh,
with the water.
When I was a pipe layer, we actually used those. It would like it picks up metal. If you throw a toolbox in the middle of your living room, have 2 pieces of copper bent over, it will cross over the fucking toolbox. 100%.
Scott, you're married. You're still a pipe layer, but yeah. I mean, it was more like I don't know. He was more like a Rain Man, like Native American beliefs and whatnot. I mean, he could definitely. I mean, and he's a man you want if you're building a property and you want to dig a well. Like he's a man you want to come out to your property. He's no longer with us, but you could definitely like his son could do it too. Apparently, so if you need
was right about the 777. James commented that 777 encompasses both the threefold expression of the perfectly holy God and the full I can't read, but it's the Trinity. Boom.
Scott,
there we go.
This is why you need to do this on StreamYard so we can freaking all see the comments.
Well, watch it on your phone on Facebook, dude.
Who's got time to do both?
Oh, excuses are the nails that build the house to failure.
I'm busy drinking. I'm busy smoking. I'm busy making fun of Canada. I mean, I got too much on my plate already.
Yeah, you can take one of those out of your list there. So anyways, the rest of these are aeromancy. That's tossing dirt, sand, or seeds into the air. It's the same thing, but you're tossing them in the air and seeing something out of the pattern as they fall. Pyromancy, obviously seeing things in flames. And I think that's really common. People do still like candle gaze and whatever. Like that's huge for opening the third eye and, you know,
Dude, I did see some shit in the flames once. Like we were at the Rainbow Gathering and we had just drinking this mushroom tea and fucking they told us that if, you know, 2 people good, whatever. We ended up having 4 people drink it. So I drank my portion of the mushroom tea and then the flames start like flop, 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 this crazy shit. And I'm like, yeah, now I'm gonna start tripping. So I go off into the woods and I'm taking a piss, and the fucking sticks start making like stick figure aliens like the Blair Witch. And then it was done. Too many fucking people on the mushroom tea.
So is that magic?
Well, like how would they do the magic, right? Like they would take mushrooms or elixirs or whatever.
I guess,
But
you know,
then-
that's common. People do that to induce, you know, their.
But that's not
right?
that. I mean, I said to someone else, I want to get someone who's an expert in that, like holistic medicine, besides Scott, on my show.
I'm not an expert.
But I want someone who's an expert in it because, like, I mean, I dropped acid once. I never really did anything else besides that. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know where I stand on experimental drugs like that, where it's just like, are you really getting to a higher plane, or are you just hallucinating, basically, unleashing your mind to believe this shit could be happening actually?
Well, I get it too, because now, like, you know, I'm in a state where I don't know anybody. So like if I buy this shit, like God knows what you're getting, right?
Mhm.
So like you do want to be pretty sure of what you're getting if you're gonna try it. Like, but I mean, how long have you lived where you live, Jeremy? You could probably get, and Deborah can actually buy the shit from store.
I just don't.
You should.
How dare you,
And
Deborah?
send them to your other podcast mates.
Deborah, you should. No, Deborah, you should do it and just hit record on your laptop when you start doing it.
Oh gosh, no.
Don't eat
And
over
then-
2/8, dude.
But really, to kind of know if it's the same thing, like what you're saying, Jeremy, it'd have to be somebody who is already psychic or has esoteric kind of things going on, and then take it and see if it's kind of the same experience or not. Right? Like,
Well, they
you
I
are
don't know.
doing. I brought that up with the DMT trips where they're actually mapping it out in England right now. And they have all these people who are hooked to an IV drip, so they're staying in there for hours at a time, and they're all seeing like similar things, and they're trying to draw a map of the DMT world. And this isn't like some bullshit, you know, this needs like federal backing. Like they
see,
are
that's cool.
curious.
If they're collectively, they're all seeing the same thing. That's pretty well.
Yeah, no, I'd volunteer, that'd be cool.
Of course you would, Scott.
Take one for the team, just for research purpose.
I've never done DMT. I would really like to know what that one's like, because
I mean, I'll give it a shot, but I part of me is like, I'm gonna end up sitting there fucking crying for my mommy. It's
So,
like, I don't want to
anyways,
see
the
it.
last two, it's chiromancy, which is what I palm reading. Have you ever had your palms read?
no.
Yes, once or twice, but not by real professionals, by people who said they can do it, and they were girls, so I just let them do it. But
Messing around, but have you looked up what's your lifeline and whatever? And
no.
I kind of, but I don't know if it's the same thing. It's regular people fooling around or whatever. And then scalpel mancy. This is the
What?
creepiest one. Form of divination using an animal's scapula. So it's like a shoulder bone. So it would be broken, and based on how it was broken, it could be used to read the future. I'm like, we're little animals. So, and anyways, they would heat this bone and it would break by, like, they would heat it over hot coals until it broke, and then they would see the future in that. So, yeah.
Yeah, we had some weirdo. Thank you, James. Weird,
What?
unless you know a Jeff Halfland. You know that guy, Jeremy?
No, off the top of my head, no.
Okay, we had a weirdo in the chat for a little while. Looks like he's gone.
Was he hitting on Deborah again?
Yeah, there was. Well, he said, "How is the woman?" So
I'm equipped with a book, so don't mess with me here.
that's got. Yeah, you tell him. You know, witchcraft you in the face. Thank you, James. It's hard to keep up on everything.
So I'm passing it off, like, you guys, you picked, actual practitioners of the occult, or
Well, I'm gonna let Jeremy start, but I did buy. Let's not show the address here. Amazon Prime, the top-rated witchcraft book. Guys who deep throat part 6. Okay. So the 72 angels of the magic. And I am going to summon one of these angels for each of you tonight.
well, if it's angels, it's okay, right? That doesn't sound too scary. It's an angel.
I actually met the woman who runs a witchcraft school I met the other night is more afraid of angels than demons. She'll gladly work with demons, but angels terrify her.
Weird.
So take that religion and shut up your ass. But yeah. But yeah, you want me to go, Scott? Then why don't you throw that one picture I sent you up?
Hold up. Okay, yeah. Here, I'll throw that up, and then I gotta take care of some shit in the shadows. What do we got here? Hold up. Okay. Zoom. Where's my Zoom? Dead silence. That's how we like it on this show. Share. Jay.
There you go.
Oh, she's pretty.
Yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, I'll take care of this one while Scott is going to go take care of himself in the corner to see in this picture. But yeah, this is Yama Uba, the Japanese mountain witch. She is a yokai with the appearance of an old woman in a kimono, living in the forest of the mountains in Japan. This hideous witch from local folklore and mythology likes to trick lost travelers and devour them. She's gonna be an old lady looking for a good time. Come on now. But behind her appearance of an old witch, Yama Uba, or Yamamba, is a monstrous woman dressed in a ripped red kimono. Damn alliteration. She has a long, shaggy white hair that transforms into a snake. Okay, that's a turn off. A withered, grimy skin, a mouth that can grow to devour her prey, and sometimes even a second mouth on her skull. And in some legends, her blood is said to be yellow. With her 2 meters high height, which is about 6.6 feet for Americans, and her aggressive look, the old woman of the mountains is rather frightening. However, she can metamorphose into a beautiful young woman or into a granny cake. The fuck's a granny cake? To better capture the hikers.
That's what you're after, dude.
Indeed, this particular cunning witch has more than one trick up her sleeve. She lives in a hut deep in the forests of the land of the rising sun. You might encounter her in the mountains of Ashigara, Sabana, or Honshu. She's a clever woman who has a habit of offering her help to lost travelers, especially men, before luring them into her hut, only to devour them, of course. Giggity. To do so, she uses strategies to trick her victims, either by charming them or by pretending to be a nice old lady, helping them to find their way back. Once the travelers are confident, she won't hesitate to eat them alive. In addition to being able to change her appearance to better approach her prey, She also has the power to control her long hair to achieve her goals. So if you ever get lost, don't trust a stranger. And that's the best advice I ever heard. honestly.
Probably is. Pretty sound.
But so that's the first one I brought to the table today because I wanted to bring, because as Deborah said, witchcraft has been happening over the world since the beginning of time. So I wanted to do some foreign witches. And fuck me. Did my windows close? Apparently. Jesus Christ. The hell they go?
Oh, now
All
you're
right.
just winging it.
Scott, just do one of yours.
He ran
What?
away.
Oh, he finally went and took a piss, eh? All right, I can find him pretty damn fast, I'm sure. It wasn't all right. There's one, but all right. Let's talk about the most famous witch that I have ever known since I was a kid because of cartoons, and let's talk about Baba Yaga, the original Russian idea of what a witch is. Baba Yaga is a character in a Russian folklore that keeps characters out of strange woods. While her description varies from story to story, Baba Yaga is typically described as an old, bony woman in raggedy clothes. She has crooked teeth and a hunchback and is covered in wrinkles. She travels not by a broom like yet Western European witches, fuck those Europeans, but by mortar and pestle, pushing herself through the forest and leaving sweeping pestle marks in her wake. You imagine how much work that'd be?
How does I don't even understand that.
She literally rides around in a flying, well, in newer stories, it's a flying cauldron, but in the original stories, she literally sat in a mortar, which is like a bowl that you mix things
Yeah.
in, and she used the pestle, the like spoon thing, to
Like
push
a-
herself through the woods.
Like if you're
Like
also
what?
a magic, can't you find a better way to travel?
But anyway, her residence is similarly creepy, standing on chicken leg stilts and capable of moving around on its own. Which that's the part that freaked me out when I was a kid in cartoons. But often heroes approaching her hut must ask it to turn and face them, typically with a fairy tale three-parted invocation. The interior is typically musty and filled with animal familiars, as in Baba Yaga and the Brave Youth. Sometimes she barely fits inside with her head in one corner or her feet in the other. There is a theory that descriptions of Baba Yaga's hut originate from ancient constructions of Slavic or Sami storehouses, which were often built on dead tree trunks and guarded by animistic idols to prevent thievery and spoilage. Add some European witch tropes and you're getting close to Baba Yaga. Interestingly, Baba Yaga is not purely evil, and this is the fun part. While she does have a penchant for death and cannibalism, these heroes that can outwit her earn her respect, and she's happy to help them. Children, it seems, are at greatest risk, as in the tale of the magic swan geese. She's typically fickle and morally ambiguous, likely reflecting animistic attitudes towards nature. And the most famous story with her in it is Vasila the Beautiful, which is an amazing folklore tale. And basically, Vasila is forced to bring light back into her home in this story, and is told to get some from Baba Yaga by her evil stepmother and stepsisters, because there's always the evil stepmother and stepsisters. Why wouldn't there be? But she approaches Baba Yaga's hut, which is decorated with human bones and surrounded by bone stakes topped with skulls. After pleasing the witch, she's able to bring a human skull with gleaming eyes and a low, dull voice, which she carries through the forest back to her family. When she returns, the skull tells her to place it on the table, and the light from the skull's eyes burns her stepmother and stepsisters to ashes. Can I do that with my in-laws? Just saying. But it's a good bedtime story for kids. That's that one right there. Really, you really should read to your kids in bed. But
Especially when you just announced that you're blending a family with a new, yeah, the new
with a
stepmom.
skull too. But all right. Well, the last thing I have for us today, we're going to talk about the 9 most famous witches in history.
Is Blair Witch one of them?
Kind of.
Don't give too
I
much.
was, I,
away.
was- I, was- I was gonna say, is Deborah barking? But I heard
That's
something
her
bark.
familiar.
Okay. Of course it is her familiar. But all right. The first, which I have to talk about today, if my computer wants to cooperate, is La Voisin. La Voisin, I don't know. But Catherine Monvoisin, also known as La Voisin, lived in France in the mid 1600s. She practiced medicine, including midwifery and abortions, mixed potions and poisons, told fortunes, and arranged black masses where clients could confer with the devil. Ooh. She was also one of the heads of Affaire des Poisons, a cult who poisoned many members of the French aristocrat. Thank God. And who had planned to poison King Louis I want to say it's 14th. Her most famous client was Madame de Montespan, the king's mistress. It was by Montespan's order that Lavoisier attempted to poison the king for his infidelity. In the late 1670s, fear of poisoning and witchcraft reached a fever pitch in the streets of France, and many successful fortune tellers and poisoners, including Lavoisier, were arrested. She was burned publicly after being convicted of witchcraft in 1680. So, damn.
And I think we talked about them. And the funny thing was, the king and his mistress and all the rich people who hired her to do all that, they didn't disclose their names, so they all got off. All the high paying clients got off.
That
Kind
was
of like the whole.
one you did, right?
Yeah. It was a while ago, but yeah.
What
Like
was, that's
Epstein.
probably the witch episode.
The client
I guess.
list remains hidden, and they all get away with it.
Well, this next character is Alice Keitela. She's the first recorded woman condemned for witchcraft in Ireland. She lived from the late 1200s to early 1300s. She was married 4 times, which already marked her as an unusual woman. After
Yeah, I
her
gotta
fourth
get rid of
husband,
this one.
after her fourth husband died, expressing fear that he had been poisoned, his children and the children of her 3 previous husbands accused her of using poison and sorcery against all their fathers.
See, I like this girl.
That's why you would have been burned at the stake.
She was accused of a myriad of other depraved acts, such as animal sacrifice, worshiping Satan, and using her powers to manipulate and control Christians. Oh, God forbid. But one of her servants, Petronella de Meath, was tortured by church authorities and confessed to witchcraft, thereby implicating Keiteler. At this point, Keiteler fled the country, presumably to England. She was never heard from again. So she got away.
Yeah, good
Hey.
for her. Is the
But-
next one like at the same era with an English lady who started poisoning a bunch of dudes? No.
Nope.
Okay.
Next one is Isobel Gaudi, which tried and executed for witchcraft in 1662. Gaudi is notable for her detailed confession, which she gave of her own volition without being tortured like many other women at the time. She was a young housewife living at Aldern, Highland, Scotland. Her confessions about her coven's activities, including their supposed ability to transform into animals, gave great insight into European folklore surrounding witchcraft at that time. She also claimed to be entertained by the Queen of Fairies in her home under the hills. Some speculate that Gary's confession may have been the result of psychosis or a ploy to get a more lenient sentence. So, yeah, I don't know.
I was gonna say, why was she, go and
Confessing that?
really confess good grief?
I don't know. But this next one's for Scott. And this is her name is Mole Dyer. And if you've seen the Blair Witch Project, then you're already familiar with the legend of the infamous Mole Dyer. Though her story is more lore and superstition than recorded fact, this supposed resident of Leonardtown, Maryland, has been the inspiration behind many local tales and even major movies. She lived in the late 1600s. A group of her fellow townspeople accused her of witchcraft, and she was chased out of her home by a group of men on a winter night. What girl hasn't been there? Her body was found days later, frozen to a large stone. Stories about her malevolent spirit haunting the land around her woody cabin and terrorizing any who come near as revenge against those who wronged her are rampant. So there you go, Scott. There's your Blair Witch tie-in.
Well, that would be like when you think back to like 1999's when the Blair Witch Project came out. Like that would have been a cool college film, dude. Like it obviously was. It was a huge success. I just watched it again a month ago. But like
You couldn't pay
nowadays,
me.
you can kind of get these ideas and shit, and like cameras are easy to get a hold of. Like that was a milestone. I like the Blair Witch Project.
I don't.
I liked it.
But
When
all
did
right.
you watch it? When you were a kid?
I never watched it. I don't want to see that shit. I saw the trailers. That's all I need to see to fucking stay away from it.
When I saw it for the first time, I thought it was found footage, dude. That's hook, line, and sinker. I was sold.
Because nobody had really done that kind of thing yet, right? So
Yeah.
it was different. Yeah.
And there was no like internet to like, you couldn't just go Google, hey, is this real? It was
And you
just
know what I
like,
liked about it? It was one of the first movies that like so much is left to your imagination. Like they just find teeth and it's just
mhm.
like it's and your own imagination is always gonna scare the shit out of you. I like shows like that where they don't show too much and you're just, you're filling in the blanks with, or terrible things. It's
Yeah,
scary.
no. I just rewatched it a month ago, man. And like, I always forget shit, but then like, it still holds up. I like the new one too, not the number 2, but the new one they did with all the GoPros and everything. That
Yeah,
was pretty good.
I don't think I ever watched it unless I really had to. But this next witch, I have watched things about her, and she was recently betrayed by Angela Bassett in American Horror Story Coven. Marie Laveau is most accurately described as a voodoo priestess. She lived in New Orleans from 1794 to 1881, and though little is known about her life, it is widely recorded that she had a massive following and commanded respect as she walked through the New Orleans streets. There is speculation that her magic mixed Catholic and African spiritual traditions, that her divinations were supported by a network she assembled while working with as a hairdresser and a brothel madam, that she owned a snake named Zombie after an African god, and many more. After her death, her gravesite was rampant with vandalism, for many visitors believe Laveau's spirit would grant wishes if they drew an X on her gravestone. Today, one must have a tour guide to enter the cemetery where she is buried. So, yeah, and I've heard about the X thing that people thought for a long time if you drew an X on her tombstone, you'd get like a wish from her. Like she's some damn genie or something. But
With that
That'd be a
whole
super cool way to make sure people are visiting you. I'm gonna put that on my actual gravestone. Like you come, draw an X, I'll grant you a wish, and then I'll get lots of visitors.
when you like broke into that one, I for sure thought you were gonna say Hillary Clinton. I don't, something in my head is just like, he's
no,
going into
Scott.
Hillary Clinton. Is this adrenal cream already?
No, Scott, I don't want to go into Hillary Clinton. But God help me. No. But
She's number 1, right?
yeah. We got a sniz in the snooch. That's all I'm gonna say, Scott. But the next one, born Violet Mary Firth in 1890, Dion Fortune was a British occultist and author, thought of many as a modern-day witch. She wrote prolifically about the occult in both fiction and non-fictional works. In 1924, she founded the Fraternity of the Inner Light, a magical society dealing with religious philosophy and alternative realities. She died in 1946, leaving behind her magical society, which has survived to this day. Ronald Hutton, in his book The Triumph of the Moon, A History of Modern Pagan Witchcraft, considers her the foremost female figure of the early 1900s British occultism. Which I never heard of her, so I was pretty impressed by that one. If you could actually give me a name I never heard before, I'm actually gonna be surprised. So,
But she wrote a book. I was just because I have a stack of books here, and there is a book that people recommend by her. So it's like seeing if I have it, but I don't.
well, there you go. And a witch that actually made it without getting killed. So there you go.
Accomplishments.
But this one everybody may know ahead of time, but it is likely you've heard the name from Arthur Miller's The Crucible. But like many other characters in the play, Tituba was inspired by a real person. Although it's unclear which South American country she originated from, Tituba was brought to the American colonies as a slave to Samuel Parris. During the 1692 witch trials in Salem, Tituba was the first person accused of witchcraft by Elizabeth Parris and Abigail Williams. Initially, Tituba denied any involvement, but like so many of the accused, her will was quickly broken. She admitted to participation of an occult ritual, saying she had baked a witch cake in an attempt to help her mistress, Elizabeth Parris. Tituba embellished her confession by adding details about her service to the devil, riding on sticks, and being told by a black dog to harm the children. Her testimony was both bizarre and frightening, as Tituba stated that she had pinched the girls and had signed a devil's book. Tituba, along with many others, was in prison for nearly a year, but managed not to be one of the women hanged for witchcraft. She languished in prison for a year as her master would not pay her jail fees. Eventually, in 1693, an unknown individual purchased Tituba from the prison for the price of her jail fees. After this, the woman's path disappeared from history. So, and yeah, I mean,
Good.
what was that?
I said I can't imagine it was good, whatever happened to her with the dude that bailed her out.
I mean, if you want to know more about her, I suggest listening to Aaron Mankey's Unobscured Season 1. He did an amazing job doing the Salem witch trials, but
Well, didn't we kind of talked about this too? And wasn't it found that there was something wrong with the crops that was causing
Yeah, it was ergot in the
whatever
grain.
for the children anyways? Yeah.
The ergot is like an LSD similar thing. So
Yeah.
like they might have been tripping, and then little kids tripping were like, yeah, that bitch is a witch. Do it.
Yeah.
well, this next one, Scott's gonna freaking love. I can already tell. But Malin Matsdatter, known as the Great Noise, the largest witch trial in Swedish history, brought forth a tenacious Swedish widow in July 1666. 1676. Malin Matsdatter was reported for witchcraft by her own family. Her daughters accused their mother of abducting their children and taking them to a satanic Sabbath. Matt's daughter was found guilty thanks to the testimony of her daughters and her lack of religious knowledge and prayers. Oh, sorry, you don't know the Lord's Prayer by heart? You're going to die. But Matt's daughter, along with Anna Simon's daughter, Hawk, became the last people executed for witchcraft in Stockholm. While witches were usually decapitated or hanged to death, the court decided to give Matt's daughter a different sentence after she refused to admit her guilt. While Anna asked for forgiveness, Matt's daughter maintained her innocence and thus became the only Swedish witch to have been burned alive. One local reported that as the flames covered her body, she did not scream or appear to be in pain, for some proven in fact that she was a witch.
I think their kids just wanted to go out and party that night, and they were like, "This bitch is a witch."
The bitch is a witch. All right, we got one last person left.
This is number one, the most famous witch ever.
They're not ranked that way, Scott. There's actually number 9, but
oh, you started from the top and went down.
I started the way the website fucking started. Come on now, but Ursula Safthiel, better known as Mother Shipton, was a highly regarded and feared English prophetess during the 1500s. Locals referred to Mother Shipton as Hag-Face due to her ugliness and disfigurement. Many believe that she was the daughter of a suspected witch, Agatha Safthiel, and the devil. The devil. Despite her appearance, Mother Shipton was considered England's greatest clairvoyant and was even compared to Nostradamus. Some of the Mother Shipton prophecies foretell many modern events and phenomena. It says she predicted the Spanish Armada, the Great Plague of London, the Great Fire of London, the execution of Queen Mary of Mary, Queen of Scots, and the Internet. Unlike so many other well-known witches, Mother Shipton died a natural death and was buried on the outer edges of York in 1561.
Yeah, she did pretty good.
Yeah, I'm actually happy. There was a couple witches in this list that actually were good, decent people and lived their full lives before they passed.
Well, you know how like Nostradamus had 10,000 predictions and then like people dug deep to like make ones
Make
that
that-
actually fit a narrative. Oh, maybe we should start doing that. Maybe that should be our podcast. We'll just like make predictions about the
Predictions.
future. And then they'll be like global strangeness was the
No,
biggest fortune telling witch this
I
side
think
of
we
the
should get guests on
Mississippi.
and we'll help fix their lives. 'Cause
here you go, Scott. Here you go,
For
Scott.
money. For money.
Here you go, Scott. This one's coming through for next week. Next Sunday, Scott will be drunk during the bracket. That's the
God
future.
damn, we already did it, people. We already did it. I can guarantee Jeremy's prediction will be right.
Yeah. But yeah, but that's all I got, Scott. It's all up to you, buddy, to finish off the show in our last 20 minutes here or so.
Okay. Well, like I
Or-
said, I was going to show you guys some real magic. So I have with me some Canadian Mist
Oh god.
playing cards here. Now, Jeremy, I don't trust you.
Well deserved.
So, Deborah, tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Is that the card you want me to stop you on?
No.
This one.
No.
Well, just tell me
That one.
that one. Okay. Okay, I'm going to find your card. Was that your card?
How did you ever do that? Oh my goodness.
Okay. So I was gonna I got one story. And then I know you guys like your tarot cards. So my wife let me borrow her
Oh, those are cool.
extra set. So I'm gonna read your guys' fortune right now. First time ever doing this.
Well. That's cool.
So who wants to go first?
Jeremy, it's Jeremy's birthday.
Yep, Jeremy, you get the I don't hopefully it's a
I
good
love-
one, dude.
I love my fortunes read. Let's do this.
Okay. I'm shuffling up a little bit. These cards are unsleeved. Okay. So my wife told me I throw one down, the other down, and the third one down, and that's going to be your past, present, and future.
Is your wife a witch, Scott?
Yeah, I got her whole magic box here. I was gonna get into that if we needed any extra content. Okay. Shuffled up here. So these are your three cards, Jeremy.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Okay. So you got to be upside down or right side up. This is your first one. This is your past. I think you were in an old car with your shirt off at one point in time. Maybe a convertible. Did that ever happen?
Highly possible, Scott. I don't remember everything, but I
Highly
mean,
possible.
my
Okay.
mom had a convertible, and I
Oh,
like
you
to have my
know
shirt.
it's true then. Come on.
I like to have my shirt off from time to time, so you know.
Well, this is your present. We've got this one upside down. This is, oh, I guess I should read the card. This is the wands. So you gotta, are you like wrestling with another dude with your shirt off right now and a clean boy is watching? Is that happening right now?
No, Scott, I can't say.
Well,
it
it's
is.
upside down, right? It's upside down, so that means it's not happening. Still predicting the future. Okay, your last card,
Jesus.
only on this show. You've got hazards. That's your future, dude. And that was right side up. That does not seem good. It says do not open there on the bottom. So I don't know if this is like telling you to quit drinking or like if something's suspect, maybe you should just not open.
Good to know.
What is
Did
the
I-
actual card? What is it?
It's hazards.
It looks
Oh.
like somebody's head in a jar.
Well,
That's
this is the zombie tarot deck, so
Okay,
it's
okay.
my wife. It's my wife's like, you know, fun deck, not her real tarot deck. But yeah, no, that's telling you definitely, Jeremy. You don't want to open something, dude. That's a hazard.
You know, my interpretation of that is he had his shirt off in the past. He's being good, no shirt off tonight. And it's saying, do not take your shirt off in the future. That's it.
There we go. Like realistically, give me how much would you pay for that tarot card reading, Jeremy? Like, so I know how to charge people at the state fair this year.
I might want my money back. I'm just saying.
Like $100?
Hundy. Yeah, that's the Hundy.
At
That's,
least
that's
$100.
some gold in there.
I'll take my 100 back. But yeah,
No refunds, sir. No refunds. Okay, I'm
this-
shuffling
and-
them up.
and this is why they find carnies dead in the roadside. Just saying. But
Oh, if this was Carney's, every card in here would refer to you giving me money somehow. Every one of them. Okay, we got one more shuffle to do, and then we're gonna do Deborah's past, present, and future.
Come on, 649.
You should tell, while I'm shuffling, you should tell them your lottery story.
My lottery story
Yeah, we had talked about it before.
about the
Yeah, the asshole. My dude tried to rip me off $7, but
yeah, I think I won the lottery and somebody stole it from me. So I
only in Canada. Only in fucking Canada.
no, listen to the story. So I had a ticket and I stopped by this little gas station and it's close to my house. So I've been there a million times. And the guy's never friendly, never talks, never anything. Like just, you know, grumpy, whatever. And so anyways, I had a ticket and it won. And he's like, it's $2. And I was like, okay, whatever, $2. And you know how they give you a little slip that says $2? So never got the slip, whatever, took $2 off my purchase and whatever. And then lo and behold, the gas station shuts down. And I thought it was weird that I never got to see the actual, that it was indeed $2, whatever, but I never thought too much of it. The gas station shuts down and has this big ass renovation done on it. And the very next time I ever go back through there, the guy literally says to me, hey, how are you? Win the lottery lately? This man who's never talks, never friendly.
Oh,
I was like, you stole my ticket. I'm sure of it. That's my lottery story.
I think you need to do some witchcraft on that fella. Okay, this is the last shuffle, and I had, like, James is listening. Me and Jeff went into the 7-Eleven and I cashed it was my liquor store, and I cashed my lottery ticket, and the dude was like, "You won like $2." And then I went into the 7-Eleven with Jeff in the morning and won $9 because 7-Eleven has how much you won right there in front of your fucking face.
They should all do that.
Yeah, no, this dude was literally trying to steal $7 from me.
$7 though? Who's gonna steal that from somebody?
I think they did it all the time. Like at that time, that's why I didn't take my $2 was because there were newspaper articles about how somebody had stolen somebody's second place prize and the first place Mega Millions is when they got
Oh,
caught.
that
But,
just
like,
sick.
yeah, they had done it multiple times.
That is some karma. That's all I can say. That's karma.
Well, and that was the fucked up part in California is you only had to save your surveillance footage for 6 months, but you can take up to 9 months cashing in the tickets. So this dude would always fucking cash the tickets at like 7 or 8 months. And
Well, and how easy he would have a friend or someone that
oh
can
yeah.
really relate and they'd go get it and give them a cut. Like how easy is that to do, really?
Yeah, no, it was, I mean, this was like 2005 or something.
Yeah.
But
Sign your tickets,
when did
boys and
yours-
girls.
Yes, sign every lottery ticket.
Yeah.
Coming from somebody in Utah that can't buy the lottery, but
Yeah.
what year was yours?
Oh, that was probably about 13 years ago, 14 years ago.
Around the same time. Well, you're coming up. We got your past,
Okay.
we got your present,
All my secrets are coming out.
and we got your future. So let me pick up your past. So this is the Hanged Man upside down.
Him upside down is right side up, actually. That's how the card.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that.
Yeah, he is
So,
hanging upside down when the card's right side up.
I think you've been to the library a lot, and evil things like witchcraft books were trying to dig into your mind with that one. Is that correct?
That you're the expert here.
I am the
Must
expert.
be.
Yeah, Scott, I think that kind of signifies her past with men tied to her bedpost.
Oh my gosh.
I'm the expert here, buddy. So if you
And we have
you
a second
want,
reader in the house.
I only charge $100. I'll do your tarot card reading out there for $100 on Zoom. Okay, what do we got here? Looks like a ball of people or something. You got hazards again, dude. Shit is not looking good for you right now, Deborah. This is your present. I don't know if you zoom in there, that kind of like describes your lottery experience right there, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah,
You're
picked up on my storytelling as you were shuffling.
in that circle, and
cool.
it's in a bubble, so it's like the memory of you having that lottery story.
God, you are spot on.
God damn, I'm pretty good at this. I didn't realize.
So if Deborah goes to an alternate dimension, that means then she'll win the lottery in that dimension.
Yes. That's
There
what I
you
want
go.
to learn, how to timeline jump and just get back there and go to a different, lottery station. Like that
Well,
big.
let's hope your future is a little better. This might be it, right? This might be your lawsuit against that asshole right now. Or it could not
Yeah.
be. So does that card look good? It's right side up. That's always a good sign, right?
These cards are like different than anyone's have seen. These are interesting.
It's a zombie guy. Come on.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude. I am not lying. You had 3 hazard cards. And well, this says 10 of hazards.
This is why she's
The other one said 9 of hazards.
You didn't
And
shuffle. You didn't shuffle.
I did shuffle the whole time. And then you had the hanging man.
The hangman.
Okay, they're
Well-
not all hazards. You got nothing to worry about.
I feel
Well,
like I
I
need
mean-
to like sit here and bubble wrap and not leave my house now.
Well, Scott, you said she's the 10 of hazards, which means she's the 10 of the hazardous women. Like she's a
Oh, you
10.
might be number 10.
No,
there you go.
it means she's a 10, but she's still a hazardous woman, so you gotta be careful.
Or you
see, we'll
did
go
the
with that. I like
9
that, Jeremy.
craziest witches.
I'm taking my $100
Maybe
and I'm
she's
giving it
number
to Jeremy.
10.
Fuck, I
Okay.
should do this more often.
So you're taking my $100? I'm reading your fortune right now for free. Jesus Christ.
My fortune sounds better, Scott.
So yeah, it's not what sounds better. I'm gonna get into this one. This one has a kid sitting in a circle, and you have a dog. So I think your future is keeping this dog away from whatever kid is sitting in the circle while people up here are not paying attention. That's your future. You need to remember that. Just
That's the kid playing Red Rover in the corner by himself. Just saying.
okay. Just make sure your dog stays away from little kids playing with their train tracks.
Oh, will do.
For free. I did that.
That was
$100 for anybody else watching.
This is a new addition to the show, folks. If you want your fortune told. PayPal. We accept PayPal. Well, how else do you do this? I don't know.
Hell yeah, we'll bring you right
We'll do
on
a
the
reading. We'll
podcast.
do a reading for a viewer every night at the end.
All
We-
three of
we-
us will do it, and that'll be
We accept PayPal, Venmo, Google Pay, all the
Bitcoin,
popular ways. No, fuck
Shiba
Bitcoin.
Inu. We'll take Shiba Inu.
Yeah, we'll do a reading. Down with
Straight
that.
gold.
What the fuck is Shiba Inu?
It's the offshoot of Dogecoin, dude. Come on now.
You and your crazy
take
fucking
it.
groups
We'll
you're
take
in, dude. You and your crazy groups.
Okay, so I read everybody's fortune. Deal with that as you will. That didn't sound too good for. Now you guys know why I don't get my tarot cards read. That doesn't sound promising at all.
You know, it's funny when actual tarot readers read my cards. It's always a lot better.
It's not
They're
quite so terrible. I
lying
know.
to you, dude. I'm reading
Yeah.
you the truth.
Yeah,
They
they're
are
lying, Scott.
lying to you.
He's got
They're
the gift. He's
lying.
got the gift here, so we can't.
Deborah's dog
Oh
is
my
gonna eat a
God.
little kid, and I saved her from that. I bet you when you got your tarot cards read, they were like, everything's gonna go great. It's gonna be peachy
No,
keen, and
no,
you're gonna be a
no.
millionaire.
I've
Not
had death
me,
pulled.
not this
I've
guy.
I've had death pulled one time too on me, but I mean, it's mostly good. It's just there's always a death card in there somewhere.
Yeah, it's always
Death just
mostly
means
good.
change. To be fair, it's not death. It's just change. The death of some portion of you.
I gave you guys like real looks into your life here. So.
Scott's like, where's my?
You're
Scott's
welcome.
basically just like, where's my fucking money, motherfuckers?
I'm gonna start my own side project where I just read people's tarot cards.
I
That
think
might
we
be
should
fun.
just do a reading for a viewer each night at the very end of our podcast here. Do one
Just
I'm sure
Scott-
my wife will let me borrow this one. Jeremy, do you have one? I know Deborah's got one, but
I
are
have
you
the
gonna
readers.
I do not
use
have-
your deck on someone else?
I do not have a deck of tarot cards, Scott. I do not.
Amazon, dude, $10.
It's your
You'll be
birthday.
good.
Let's tell your wife.
No. I've been told you are not supposed to buy your own set of tarot cards for your first deck.
Yeah, I didn't buy those. I bought them for my wife.
They're
so-
supposed to be gifted to you by somebody. That's what I was told by tarot experts.
The same
Otherwise,
experts that told you were going to do great and be a millionaire. Like I'm telling
Well,
you right now, is the pro.
Scott, it's going to
tarot
be
card
true.
space.
It's Scott. I mean, they're not wrong, buddy. They're not
Well,
wrong.
is your wife listening? Buy him a deck of tarot cards as a gift.
Yeah. That'd be
Yeah.
a
She ain't
great-
listening.
great gift.
My wife's drinking. You think she's listening to me? Please.
Okay, so I'm getting into my last story. After I
About
wowed
time.
you guys with my magical magic. Okay, so this is Mahila. Let me pull up the picture here. And this
Ringling Brothers on crack, everybody. Just saying.
well, this is a modern day witch. So
There you You got a picture of my wife? What?
what do we got here? Screen S1. So this lady, I'm going to fuck her name up, but it's Mahila Minka. And this lady is said to be the most powerful witch in Romania.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it. I want to meet her. Hey, but she ain't that bad looking for an older lady.
She's
I'm gonna put it out there.
she's got 2,000 followers on Facebook. I'm sure you could probably get her on. We could get her on this show. Let's do it.
We should get
Well,
her.
there
on
you-
this.
Maybe she'll do a
the-
bracket.
No,
Come
don't-
on, that would be fun.
dude, I do not have first time guest bracketeers until this first bracket coming up. But like I don't recommend that for people like that. I don't.
Everybody I've ever invited on this show is a first. Like me and Deborah were first time bracket people. Come on, she had fun. Look at her.
I don't know what topic she even would be good on. Like it had to be related, and it just wouldn't. I don't know what the hell topic to do with
But
that.
really, as a guest, she'd be amazing. That'd be super cool.
Yeah, as a guest on an interview show, she'd be fucking incredible.
Well, why don't we wait until I finish the story before we start?
Oh,
people?
she killed and decapitated her kids. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
No, not quite that bad. She and her daughters perform everything from love spells and evil curses. Like you were saying, got to marry off them dependents. She's probably best known as the witch that predicted in 2016 that the Romanian politics was going to burn, and then shortly after it did. So Romania experienced the most chaos since the fall of the Communist Party, sending 500,000 people in the streets to fuck shit up. And she predicted that. She did predict that. But then in 2020, and this is off of a Vice. I'll link the Vice clip down in the description because it was pretty interesting. And I think it was like right before COVID in 2020, like before we locked down January, February. But in 2020, she gathered all of the witches and wizards together to cast the most powerful spell of her life against the Romanian politicians.
I heard about that.
So this spell took around 2 months, and that's where I'm thinking this might have been like January 1st. No one was wearing a mask in this whole thing. But another fun fact, witchcraft was actually an arrestable offense during the Soviet Union. So they did like arrest people for performing witchcraft back when the USSR was the communist dictatorship.
Back
But
in the USSR.
at the time, there were a lot of Romanian politicians who actually wanted to arrest her. So back to 2020, they wanted to arrest her for trying to perform this curse against them. So a lot of superstitious people. Another little
People are
fun
stupid.
fact about Romanian witches is due to the fact that they were like nomads in the caravans and they were going all over the place. They learned a lot of witchcraft from other places and, you know, different witch covens, and they sort of incorporated it into their own belief system. So they had like a little bit of everything. These people
Yep.
even say amen after every chant that's spoken, just to protect themselves from the evil spirits. But so they started this spell. Like I said, watch the Vice documentary. And when they start the spell, they use the heart of a beaten ox. So like an ox that was beaten.
Why you gotta beat the oxes, man? They're just simple creatures. Fuck.
Well, 'cause it's part
Assholes.
of the spell.
Assholes.
Dude. Do you want to do
Assholes.
something, or do you want to do something right? Jesus Christ.
Do
I'm trying
something.
to
I'm
give
not.
people information here on how to take down their own politicians. You
and
have
they
to
gotta
beat
beat
the ox.
That's neat though. They don't have to beat the animals.
I mean, unless it's a metaphor for something else, then don't beat the ox.
Well, they didn't clarify, so but you got to beat the ox one way or the other. You got to beat the ox.
I mean, I could do that. I have an unlimited Pornhub subscription, so I could do that. But I mean, you gotta give me a couple days, Scott. But
I don't know what Pornhub has to do with you beating off an ox.
you know, if you're gonna beat the ox, then
Okay, so the heart. Do you want to give your heart? Are you the ox in this metaphor? Okay, you got to get the heart of a beaten ox. We didn't clarify that in one way or another. And then you have to have the hair of a dead man, a conch shell that was given to you from a wizard from Los Angeles,
What?
from Los Angeles.
That's pretty
and
specific.
then 2 very cute little baby black goats.
Hmm.
Aww.
Yeah, my
And then
story might go south here pretty
No.
soon.
The baby goats get killed.
Maybe not. I don't know. You gotta watch the Vice thing.
It's never good for the baby goats in these stories.
Poor baby goats.
Yeah. So they brought the goats into the shed. Let me pull up my flip
Oh
this
God,
shit
what?
here.
You better have a picture of like two.
Yeah, it's gonna be a goat spliced out, brains all over the place. What's number 2? Okay,
Oh,
no,
Scott,
I don't
you
have
get-
any pictures of the goats.
All
We're
right,
good.
I was gonna say,
We're
I'm like
good.
that. I was gonna say that's Scott's background on his computer, but
So they brought the goats into the shed where the ritual was being held. Then they Skyped. I'm not kidding you. They held their phones up to the ritual and Skyped all the wizards from LA to help chant and do the stuff. Then it went from chanting on Zoom and it just sort of like flashed into like a human skull that had a bunch of nails in the video from Vice. But not sure what happened to the gods. It doesn't look good. But the spell is supposed to summon the devil to go after the politicians. So now I got to give you guys
Jeez.
a couple of these. Oh, there's some fun facts at the end. Okay, we got office phone ringing. Sorry, everybody. Okay, so let's get into these. We got 2. So this is the up close version of the spell. Does everybody
okay.
get that? We got
I
some
like their outfits.
pink dresses. They got a pentagram. What the fuck? There we go. Pentagram. They're dancing around it.
Yep.
And then this, the outro clip is the funny one. So let me share the screen one more time. Yes. Nope. Oop. Don't look at that. You guys can't look at that one.
I just did though.
Why were you looking at that? I told you. So this is what it actually looked like. You got a bunch of people chanting, and then like if you watch the video, there's cars going by. They're in a big ass city. It's not the same as it was back in old Romania there.
When Count Dracula was still around.
Yeah, no, Romania, that's got a bunch of shit going for it, right?
Oh God, yeah.
Okay, so let me get back into this. We got the black goats. We don't know what happened to the goats. So the spell is supposed to summon the devil to go into the politicians. I already read that. Don't know why I didn't flip the page. I think your
Damn it,
prediction's gonna
Scott.
be right, dude. I think Scott might be drunk for the next bracket.
When are you not, Scott?
Back into the story. You gotta sleep sometimes, dude. So back into the story. At 2 a.m., the night of the cool little ritual thing we saw going on, she had to kill a black hen at exactly 2 a.m.
Black what?
Oh,
Hen.
Oh.
poor chicken, poor chicken.
Yeah, there was some pretty good. Watch the video. You won't be disappointed.
Poor
So
cock.
then in the morning, they gathered whatever liquid they gathered from the first spell. Didn't look like goat blood. Kind of looked more like goat urine with some weird chunks of stuff in it. So maybe the goats were good. Got to share the screen here again. Hold on
It's
a sec.
disgusting.
This is them chanting over the dead chicken, I might add,
Oh, poor
with
little chicken.
the goat urine. So number 4. So yeah, these little bottles right here. Can't really see. When you watch the video, you'll see a bunch of like testicle looking
Like the
things.
fire burns, so
Like,
burns
what's that
all
in the
evil.
bottles?
Weird stuff. Weird stuff's happening. Like I said, go to Vice.
Like the fire burns, so burns all evil. It sounds like some heavy metal fucking lyrics right there.
Yeah, pretty much. That was the spell. We're gonna have her on them. So they chanted above, or putting the liquid above the candles and the dead chicken and all that shit. Then they went and they poured the liquid on a bundle of sticks and swung it in front of them and back of them. And I'm not sure, I'm only guessing, but I'm pretty sure they got at least a little bit of whatever kind of goat urine, blood, crazy shit was in those bottles on themselves. Last image here. Last image. But yeah, if you watch the video, they were not very careful about pouring this stuff all over the place. So that was the image I accidentally shared. That's the
Oh, yeah.
brush, and they're all three of them are, you
Eesh.
know, on the politicians of Romania and in Europe. So
So if you were driving by and you see something like this going down, would you stop, or are you locking your doors and stepping on the gas?
I'm from New York.
I'm
I've
just
been in New York.
driving by casually.
I've been in New York and Boston. Like, you just drive by casually, but I mean, who knows, Scott? Maybe they just all need some good D, and they'll be all happy and stop this shit.
I think they might be elite. They might be future guests. Let's keep it to ourselves, fellas. Okay, so where were we? They got a bunch of gross shit on themselves, and then they just dumped the rest out in front of the gates of their parliament, and then drove off in their 2019 Kia Sorento.
So they did a drive-by with a Mai Tai cocktail of goat urine chunks.
Or blood. I don't know what it was, you know. It was, the goats were never shown back in the feature-length film, so it could have,
Yeah.
you know, done what Jeremy wants to do to an ox, or. But then after this huge, you know, they brought all the wizards and witches of Romania together to do this 2-month spell.
I am the ox in this scenario, Scott, but yes, continue.
They you know, some bad stuff happened to a couple of people in Parliament.
Oh, so
Always.
Well, a couple. I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of people in Parliament, but fun fact, they actually helped the Los Angeles Wizards, Los Angeles, California Wizards, cast a spell on Donald Trump in 2020 as well. So Donald Trump seems to be okay. You know, if they're going after the whole Parliament of Romania and
MAGA
Donald Trump,
MAGA 2024, Scott. MAGA 2024.
What are you talking? Oh, I actually have a video. This will be a good, like, before we announce what we're doing. You will like this. You know?
Promises.
Promises. Yeah, this is you. I did this for you, my friend.
Oh, I am scared now.
You should be. Okay. You're gonna like it. I swear to God, you're gonna. Well, I swear to whatever they worship, you're gonna like it.
Hold on, he swears on you.
Now he's speaking German. That is 100% him. Everybody that's watching, he's getting crazy. Okay, share video and sound. Probably going to be Biden and Trump. If Bigfoot runs as an independent, is it Bigfoot 2024?
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
Okay.
If Kanye's not there, then it's Bigfoot.
Oh, for sure, Bigfoot.
So Bigfoot 2024?
Yeah, Bigfoot 2024 for sure.
Biden. As long as Bigfoot promises to cut some taxes off, I'll go for a Bigfoot. Definitely Bigfoot, yeah. Might be a great alternative, Bigfoot. But yeah, I'd probably vote for Donald Trump, yeah.
Probably not voting.
Well, actually, we just saw the documentary about Mitt Romney the other day on Netflix. If he would run again,
Ooh, she's cute.
So did you see that? We've got
Bigfoot wins, takes the win.
7 for Bigfoot, 1 for Biden, 1 for Trump, and then 1 for Mitt Romney.
I mean, if they want,
Utah
if
pride
they,
there.
if they want that magic underwear to come back again, then hell yeah. But
I tried to explain the magic underwear to my son the other day. He didn't believe it. But yeah.
Oh,
it's a
it
real
was
thing.
all
Lots
too
of car
real.
accidents. Well, what are we doing next week, host?
Next week we'll be having a 34 horror movie bracket.
We'll be talking scary movies, so get your popcorn.
Because it's halfway to Halloween and we are rocking that out, and it'll also be my birthday weekend, so I get to basically host it drunk. So and high. So fuck yeah. But
It's a birthday party.
bring the buckles, dude. They're fucking awesome. Bring the buckles.
Your jammies and a case of beer.
You bring the buckles, and I'll try to find two people of my own because Deborah has no friends who are into this shit.
I really don't. People think I'm nuts.
No,
when I talk
Deborah's
about
just
this.
ashamed of us. She like blocks us on Facebook. She's like, I don't want anybody to know.
My
what
name's
I
not
got
even
to
Deborah.
do."
It's, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it
Aurelius.
probably isn't.
No,
Like, have you ever
when-
thought about that, Jeremy? Her name is probably not even Deborah. She's like
I
Sally
mean-
or some shit.
I just assume that when people show her the video, like, is that you in this podcast? And she's just like, no, I was not about that. I just it's my sister. It's my sister. I'm not about that.
She
Not
Don't
probably
be
a big
really
silly. This
speaks
is my
French.
proud. This is my proud accomplishment of my life, you guys. Don't even be silly.
She probably
This is
speaks
it.
French, dude.
All right,
I'm
well,
telling you, she has no.
Well, before we
ties.
go, you guys, I have an actual. I'm gonna read out an actual magic spell. This is for you, Jeremy, because you were saying about manifesting money.
Thank you, God.
This is from 1910. This is a grimoire from 1910. If you want to get money, you take the eggs of a swallow, boil them, return them to the nest. And if the old swallow brings a root to the nest, you take it, you put it into your purse, and you carry it in your pocket, and be happy because money's coming to you. That's a
And when-
spell from 1910.
there's no swallows in Massachusetts.
Well, you got to go find one. And when she said purse, she meant your actual purse. So you're gonna have to cut that thing open, stick that egg in there, sew it up, and wait till the money comes in.
Yeah, right, Scott. I mean, one, there's no swallows in Massachusetts. That's my wife, and two, I mean, it's just no. I'm not doing all that fucking work. That's too much fucking work.
Hanging around the swallow's nest to see if they bring a root back. Like, what the hell? You gotta get to work if you have no money.
I mean, if I'm gonna hang around looking for a swallow, it ain't gonna be in the fucking woods. Come on now, but
I do
Shit.
want to say, like, Jeremy always makes fun of me for being drunk. I think Jeremy might be drunker than I am right now.
I'm feeling pretty good,
Just
Scott. But
a
I am
little
not
bit.
drunk. I'm not drunk. I'm just feeling good. I can
Yeah, I'm
definitely
not
get up and
drunk
walk
either,
around.
dude. I'm fucking buzzed.
No.
You should
Drunk,
see
Jer-
me drunk, dude.
Dude, I've been drinking since 1 o'clock. Like that's just the way it goes. But that's 1 o'clock my time, by the way, not your time. But it's just yeah. I mean, no, fuck that shit.
Well, I do have one of these 72 angels that is coming to both of you. One of you each get one. I'm going
Yeah,
to perform this magic.
Yeah,
You better hope
mine's
it's a good one.
my angel's name is Viagra. She's over there in that drawer. I'm gonna go take her in a minute. But other than that, you know.
Well, just remember, you pay me $100, you get a better angel. Okay? Anyone
Oh,
watching?
listen to them. Oh my gosh.
There is no better
$100.
angel.
That's-
There is no
$100,
better
I'll
angel.
give you an angel too. I've got the Book of Power, #1 top seller on Amazon. It's gonna happen.
You heard it here. Next thing you know, Scott, it's gonna be a message in Messenger. You have a curse, and only I can take it off for $80 from your ancestors or whatever.
Well, that's fine. I'll still have $20 after I give you 80.
No, I mean you'll be sending that to us. He's got
Oh,
a business going here.
Yeah, no, that is a great. We'll edit that out. You guys buy an angel for $100. I obviously have the power here. Bestseller on Amazon. Don't check it out. The book is super expensive. Way more than $100.
Oh, yep. And that's a wrap.
Well, goodbye, everybody. Let's stop the live stream. Stop and live stream. There we go. Well, that was fun. Better than last
Yep.
week, right? Last week kind of
Oh,
It was terrible.
last week was horrible.
Did you
some
even
of these-
post it? I was hoping you wouldn't even post that one up. It's
I
terrible.
did post it and I said in the description, do not judge us for this episode.
Deborah, he hasn't posted a podcast episode since November, so yeah.
What are you talking about, dude? I can bring you on fucking YouTube right now. All of our shit's
Yeah,
up there.
YouTube.
BitChute.
You haven't done podcast version since October.
Well, I'll send you all the audio files and I don't like fucking Anchor's not a thing anymore. It's Spotify now. We are getting quite the we even have 13 followers on Rumble, which
13
pretty
faithful
weird.
followers?
huh?
13 faithful followers? What about YouTube? Do we have, what did they call them, subscribers or whatever? No?
Yeah, YouTube we got 20 something. BitChute is where we do the most. And then like our Facebook shit, we always have like 100 people popping in and out, like the weirdo that popped in today.
100 people? That's pretty good.
Well, like 100 views.
Oh, yeah, but that's pretty good.
Yeah, they don't stay the whole time.
Do you blame them?
No. It's fun though. We're
It's
almost
just
to
for
a year.
fun. Who cares? It's
We
fun.
gotta make it to a year. Come on,
Yeah.
that'll be fucking awesome. What are we doing for the year?
I don't know, but we'll figure it out.
Said.
Invite
I
her back and ridicule her
Yep,
for
yep.
having stuck
I
it
gotta
out.
go. I gotta go deal with shit. I'll be back. I'll talk to you guys next time.
Okay, have a
But-
good week.
Well, you guys have a good night. Take it easy.
Okay.